Hi, hello, how are you? Amanda, Seint artist. We're gonna do our makeup. I've been playing. I've been gone, but I've been playing, and I've been playing with my makeup because of specific questions I've been getting, and that is large pores. And I've been troubleshooting and playing. Sometimes if you ask me a question, I don't make a tutorial right away. It's because I'm working it out. And so I've been working this out, and we're gonna give this a whirl. So I have large pores along the perimeter of my forehead here, and I am very specific about the placement of my contour when I get up here so that it doesn't go into the pore and then I end up with dark, not splotches, but spots, you know, where it gets in. And a lot of people have that problem right here. So we're gonna troubleshoot this. I will say get a primer for large pores. But I'm also going to say that my correctors actually really help with this, but I also have been using a specific brush, and I've been loving the result of my makeup. And I really think the key with this is less is more. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get into my Milk Hydro Grip, and I'm gonna prep my face. My makeup's a little wonky from travel, so all my bottles are, I don't know, exploding or oozing or not pumping. That one will be fine. Okay, I'm gonna get started, but I like Milk Hydro Grip. I will say this, there's a couple of things that I've been trying lately and I've been loving it. And one of the things is balm under my eyes. If you feel that you're getting crepiness and texture under your eyes, get the Demi Balm. It's coming out in a full size and you're gonna love it. It's great to put on your lips at the beginning before you do anything. I have very chapped lips all the time. There's nothing I can do about it. And so sometimes when I put on lipsticks, it can look textury. So sometimes I just take that balm and I put it on my lips, but just take a little bit on your finger and sweep this under your eyes. You don't need a lot, just a little tiniest bit. And this is gonna make a huge difference when you're doing your under eyes. I promise. Give it a try. Just give it a try. If it doesn't work, just keep it for your lips. That's just how it works. But I'm gonna get started. I am gonna do my color correcting today because I'm focusing on these pores and how they help with me. I have large pores on my cheeks and then I have them up here. But I noticed that I haven't had this issue as much since I started using Suede up here, but then right in this area. This is a tricky area. A lot of people have large pores here, but this is a high traffic contour area. So we're gonna play with that. So I'm gonna be using my 3 favorite brushes, but I have, okay, my 3 favorite brushes are the detail brush. I'm using this a little differently today and I've been really liking it. The blend brush, this is a great addition to your collection. And then the blush and bronzer brush. And I'm just gonna be using this for blush and bronzer. That's it, and my setting powder. But that's it. I'm gonna be doing essentially my whole face with the detail brush and I've been loving it. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna be going in and I'm gonna be correcting all my stuff right here. I'm gonna do 2 ways and I'm gonna show you, this is something I do when I'm a little more glam, but I did wanna show it because I've been getting questions about mango. So this is gonna kind of hit on some of the questions because it's been a little bit since I've done a tutorial, but I'm gonna use the blend brush on the small end. These are all my correctors. I've got Aspen Contour, Suede Lip Liner, and then this is Y01. I kind of am loving another Debbie. I've been honestly having a heyday with colors. Oh, sorry. Okay, going in on the small end, I'm just dabbing some Aspen on, and I'm just gonna go over this area, and this just mutes it down. Now, I'm just muting a color, and if you're wanting fuller coverage, but you don't wanna add a lot of makeup on, I'm gonna show you what I've been doing. I don't necessarily, in the summer, I'll do this without Aspen, but because I have large pores, I sweep this Aspen over this cheek area because the density, I think, creates a barrier that keeps makeup from texturing in my pores. Now you can still see all my imperfections, but that redness is muted down. I do have some right here, and so I just sweep it here. Whatever's left, I'm gonna put on my chin. I've been getting I think I'm getting rosacea. I think it's coming in. I went and I had a facial a couple weeks ago. She said I am, so that's great. Okay, next I'm gonna go into Suede. Now, if you have large pores in this area, you can use Suede, you can use Aspen. If you have one or the other, do this with whatever. It's really more about the density because we're gonna be putting our makeup on top of it. I'm gonna use the fluffy end. I always pinch it just to smoosh the bristles together a little more. And then I put it on and I am going to, with circles, sweep this in the area. So in my contour line, I'm gonna sweep this. My kids are taking a bath while I'm doing this, so we're gonna be hearing that. But I'm also sweeping that up here. This is gonna take care for me. My pores are up here, and then here I have my aspen here. I'm taking suede because this camouflages my hyperpigmentation, which isn't so bad on this side, but it is on the driver's side of my face. Like legit, driving a car, the window side. But I do have this little bugger right here, and I go around it, but it does go into that contour line. And this is again gonna help with camouflaging those pores and keep your makeup from settling into it and creating dark spots. But I do bring that up here also where I have my pores. And so this is why I think that this works. But also I wanna keep this in mind. Less is more. So when we're applying, we're not needing a drastic contour. We can easily create that at the end of our makeup, but when we're applying it and we're not wanting it to get into the pores, less is definitely more. All right, I'm gonna switch to my detail brush, and I am going to be using this big end, and I'm gonna go into my main highlight, which is Amber right now. I haven't gotten the new Athens. I do think it's gonna be my new favorite for winter, but we'll see. All right, so I'm just pressing that on. My bristles aren't stuck together, but I am going to be putting this on down here. I put it on the lowest part of my jaw, pull it down, and then I'm gonna work it up. And I'm pressing this onto my discoloration, and and that conveniently covers that contour line. So I do feel like this helps, but using this brush in a really light coverage is helpful. I want you to keep this in mind when you're contouring. I've been loving this brush for my main highlight. I just got back from a trip, and my makeup, I felt like it looked really good, and I feel like it was this brush. It's just when I was putting it on, I was like, wow, this is kind of going on like a dream. I really like it. So we're gonna take this, and I'm just, again, sweeping this on the lowest part of my face. I'm not applying it to my chin first because I don't wanna over apply, and I do put quite a bit right here. I like full coverage. But when we're thinking about contouring, I want you to realize we already have natural shadowing on our face. And so we're not creating a new shadow, we're accentuating one. So you don't need a lot of contour for this. Grab a little bit, we're gonna tap it, and I'm just gonna go over it right here, just like that. All right, if I need a little extra kick, I will go into mango. I do keep mango in my palette. I just don't use it often. I mean, I've had this mango in here for a long time and it barely looks dented, but I will just tap that over my discoloration and I bridge it across. It takes care of some of the redness on my nose, and this is what I do if I'm doing a little bit more of a glam coverage, is I'll just tap that over for some final whatever. And I take this fluffy end and I'm just gonna marry them all together. That's why I love this brush. It's this end. I don't apply a lot of makeup to it, but it is a great tool. Okay, sorry, my kids. Okay, let's talk about this contour. I have natural shadowing up here. I have that suede up here to help as a primer, a barrier with my larger pores. When you're putting this on, I want you, this is my contour, I'm using Olive. If you have hyperpigmentation on the perimeter, start light so you're not picking up that tone and pulling it through. I'm stamping this through. We don't need a lot because again, we have this natural shadowing here, and I put mine low below my pores. So if you have those larger pores up here, I start right here and then I swirl it, and I'm using a light coverage and I'm mimicking that shadow. I'm not trying to create a new one. I'm not trying to look like I have a divot in my forehead. I'm just trying to give myself coverage. I'm trying to give myself dimension, and I'm just mimicking a shadow. That's really it. But look, it's not supposed to be some insane difference. I'm gonna take this small end and I'm gonna go into my Versailles, and I'm gonna go right here in the middle, and I'm just gonna pull this over my brows and then up and out towards that contour, because I don't need a main highlight up here. Once this merges together, you don't need it. These are such a good, it's nice because while Versailles is very much lighter than my skin tone, it blends out like a dream and it creates this illusion. So we put on our contour to accentuate a shadow and make it look pretty and give us coverage without flattening our face. That's all brightening is doing too. It's just doing it in the reverse. It's not a shadow, it's bright, it's light. And so that's what we're doing. And that's it. Okay, let's move on to the nose. I've been enjoying this brush lately. All right, so it's the detail brush. We're pressing this in. If you want to try this makeup, because I make it look so easy, definitely message me. There's a link in the description. Message me and let's get you color matched. And that's it. Just message me. It's super easy. And once you purchase, this is one of the biggest things that I like people to know. You don't purchase and I'm out and I'm gone. Poof, I'm a ghost. No, I'm still here. You message me with your questions. You message me and I will write you back and we will work everything out. If you have questions, if we need to sit down and do a Zoom, a FaceTime, we can do that. All right, so I'm just going, it'll probably be a Zoom, but I'm just tapping this on my nose back and forth because again, my shadow is naturally there. I do have large pores. It's just pores. We got pores, we're humans. And so going light, this doesn't look crazy dark and insane. I mean, I've done that before. And all you're really doing when you pile on a really deep, it's really just for you. I'm doing it for you. I don't need to make it super dark. What I do is I put a bunch on and then I just blend it way, 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 way down when I can just build it to that point and then save my makeup. But sometimes I do put it on dark so you can really get you get it. All right, so I'm gonna take the small end, I pinch it, I'm gonna go in and I'm just going to go straight down. I need a mirror, not the phone. I've been really going like that a lot. And then I just tap it out. I cannot wait to redo these nails. I got them done for the Boston Marathon. And that's over now, and blue's not my jam. Okay, so let's get into the cheeks because this was a big problematic area for some people, and this is what I found. Stick with the detail brush. I know some people like to use the 3D brush. This isn't one of my top favorite brushes. I know it's a lot of people's, it's just not mine. These two are my jam. But this brush, the detail brush, has been my favorite. So when you're doing this on your cheek, remember, I already have a natural shadow here, okay? And we're not trying to create a new shadow. We're not trying to put in a shadow. We're accentuating something that's very pretty, which is our cheekbone. All right, so we're gonna tap this in, tappy, 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 tap. We're gonna put this on. Now, I don't have a lot on here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start up high above that, and I'm just gonna flick this on really lightly. We're just accentuating, but you build, tap if you need more, and then build it up. You don't need to put a big dark smear and just flick it instead of pressing it in. I tell people to press, and that's really for when you're color correcting, which I do every time, so I do have to apply it that way. But I've been doing these little flicks, and it's been so good. And so I just flick this on really lightly, and this is just subtle. It's light. You can barely tell it's there because you're just accentuating. It's already there, so just tap it on, and then we're just gonna flick it up. And you're just flicking it in the area that your contour goes. Now remember, we're gonna be bronzing, we're gonna be blushing, and that helps with this process. So we're just tapping and we're flicking. That's it. And you're not pressing it in and pounding it like I always tell people, go like this. If you have pores in that area, that is the wrong method for you. And that's okay. Not all my tutorials are gonna work for you. We find the way that does work for you because your face is unique to you, and the way you apply your makeup is unique to you, and you find what works and then you do it. And that's it. So if you're having a struggle, reach out to me and I'll make a tutorial about it. I mean, Lord, I've got over 200 tutorials. There's a reason. It's because I talk to you, and every conversation is a tutorial. Truly, every conversation is. And I like to see. I want you to show me how to do something. I'm not gonna write it up in a paragraph. That's just too much. But I can do this, and it's very personal, and I'm your friend, and it's great, and it's fun, and I prefer it. This is easier for me than sitting there and typing, because sometimes it's just easier for me to do this than to do this. So there. And then I can reuse this, and you can rewatch this, and it's so much easier. Anyway, so flicking, and just look, it's nice and natural. It's not crazy. I'm gonna do my jawline, going up in front of that earlobe and pull. I keep this, now look, part of it, it's a long brush, so part of it is on my face, part of it is under, and it just cups super nicely. And then I pull, pull, pull. Grab, 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 pull, 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 pull. Yeah, pull, 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 pull. These are my terms for makeup. Pull, 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 pull. Okay. So we have our contour on. It's all very nice. It's all very subtle. So when you're wanting to have that dramatic look, I don't necessarily think it's a difference in your foundation, your brightening, or your contour. It's all in the colors you're putting on your face. I'm going to switch to the blush and bronzer, and I'm going to grab my bronzer. So if you're wanting to punch up your makeup, grab your bronzer, and I go right above my brows right here. And this is where you can punch things up a little bit with warmth. With warmth. And that's it. Look, it just punches it up just a skosh. You can take an illuminator, mix it in with it, and do that. I have oily skin, and so I always have a nice dewy natural illuminator. If I add an illuminator, I jump over that border from dewy to greasy. So I don't use illuminators. It's just not my journey. They're great. I love the cream illuminators. You can't go wrong with a cream illuminator, or Starlit for powder. But if you want Glamazing or Photoshop, those are super punchy. They're great for events, weddings, proms, homecomings, stuff. But I'm going to take some more. We're going to put it on, and then I'm going above my contour here. And this is where I feel like it makes the difference on your cheek. I feel like this almost punches your cheekbone out a little bit more than adding that shadow. This is your, it just punches it out a little bit better, I think. Move my light. Okay, grabbing that bronzer, going on the cheekbone. We're going above that contour. I drape it up onto my temple to meet up here just so that it's fluid and natural and pretty, and it's good. So whichever one. I've been really loving Muse, but I do like my creaminess of Bella Bronze. It's my ride or die. That one's my ride or die. I can't do without it. I did love it. It's Muse Highlight is my second favorite now, but I'm going to take this fluffy and I'm going to add a little more because I have a very light neck. It's winter. It's the end of April, but it still snows here right now. Is this winter ever going to end? I feel like it's winter everywhere. Okay, we're going to do some blush. I still have my palette from travel. This is my palette that I traveled with, and these were the colors I chose to go with me. They were so good. Okay, these are the colors I've been using now. Full disclosure, everybody that's been liking my pictures lately, I used all the colors on my blush. So I always take Frenchie or Saint Tropez, and I pop that on my cheek because I have discoloration that pulls through when I use these pretty little pinks. I have been taking the Fluffian and I'm just been pressing it through all my colors and putting it on. And that's been my secret blush. So if you have multiple blushes, do this. They all work really well together. It's so pretty, but I'm mixing it with that Frenchie so it doesn't pull my scarring through. It's a big insecurity for me. My scarring is a big insecurity for me. Okay, it pulled through a little. I'm gonna grab a little bit of mango and I'm going over it because I have some scarring, and I'm just gonna do that because it did pull through a little bit. I'm really picky about my cheeks. Really stinking picky. All right, I'm gonna go back to the blend brush and we're gonna, you know what? I'm gonna grab my Demi. I put that balm under my eye so it's quite shiny. You could use it as an illuminator if you want to. I've been using two colors and I've been really loving them. I wanna use the Blur brush. Do you hear those kids? I do. Where are you? You guys, I need a better organization. Ah, bright brush right here. Bright brush. It's got this nice fluffy end. This is a little bit bigger than the spot brush. The spot brush is if you have more preciseness to do. Now I can't find my darn spot brush. What is wrong with me today? I'm getting there, guys, I promise. I put everything in a drawer. Ah! Everything just goes into a drawer. It's what it is. So that's the difference. This is a spot brush, so pinpoint. And then this is the bright brush. Now, when you're using any kind of correcting under your eyes or anywhere, you're gonna dip down. You're not gonna dab to the side, okay? I'm gonna use these two colors right here. This is Y01, and then this is O something. O something. 03. A lot of people get scared of 03. Watch this puppy have some magic. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my Y01, which is what I use on the darkest point. So I'm gonna hit right here, and not a lot. You don't wanna see marks, and I'm just hitting the darkest point. There we go, okay. And I'm just gonna flip it to the fluffy end, and I'm just gonna tap it out. And this just takes care of that super darkness. So I get that, and for me, super darkness, it's all relative. I get dark here and here, and you can see that. And then I'm gonna go in, I always keep a cleaning tile for my demi, 03. I've been loving 03. It just wants to look dusty. And I've been going over just my minimal, and I've been pulling it out just so that it's extra bright. But this doesn't go on this crazy weird orange. I come out here just because it's moderately dingy under my eye, and I've just been really liking it more than having Y01. But I just dab this over what I think looks dingy. I don't know the colors, but I've been really loving this. So Y01, and then I just tap it out, and it just creates this natural brightness, and then you can go boom, 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 but it doesn't create creasing. And then I can go in with my Versailles, and I use the blend brush, and I tap on. You don't want a lot. It's all preference. So I could have stopped there if I wanted to. I like a really punchy under eye. I like it super bright. It's my face. I'm gonna do what I want, but it's not a lot. It just really isn't. It just comes together like it. Look at that. I like this brightness underneath. It's what I like. But a lot of people were wondering, how can this possibly do something on the face? Well, same as how does this brighten? It's interesting. So we're gonna, again, grab that Y01. My kids are kicking the water. Okay, getting it right there, tapping into my darkest point, flip it to that fluffy end, clean it off, going into 03, and that's when I just kind of fluff it out and I take care of that dinginess. Really just my under eye, the soft tissue to me starts looking dingy, but using that balm first, it just creates this really great surface for demi. And that's it. Okay, it's so fast, it's so easy. We're going in, and then we're just gonna, I mean, you don't even see that I have it, but it just creates this little brightness. I'm so bad at words. It's personal preference. I could stop at that demi, but I prefer it like this. All right, I need powder. I'm oily. And so I'm gonna spray my face. I use Urban Decay De-Slick. Spray, spray, spray it. And while your face is still a bit damp, grab that setting powder, and I start out here. And I will still have with this powder a nice dewiness because it's fine. And I think spraying my face first helped, and then whatever's left on my brush, that goes down the middle. And then whatever's left after that goes under my eyes. But I still end up with this really nice dewy finish that's really, really good. Let's get our lips on. Then I can go and tell those girls to stop flooding the bathroom probably. Guys. Okay. Multitasker brush is my favorite for my lips. We're just gonna go right down here under the lips, just like that. This is just giving the illusion that my lip is now fuller and curled. It's a fake lip flip. That's what it is. All right, grabbing it. We're gonna go right here in the middle, tiniest little bit. I turn it sideways, and then I'm gonna outer line just the Cupid's bow area. Boom, boom, boom. Then I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna tap over it. We're going to go into that brightening, and we're gonna go here. I just do it super messy. It's just to create that bright contrast. This is what gives you that pout. And then we're gonna line our lips. I have, Renaissance has been my favorite. I'm gonna clean off the tip. Okay, Renaissance has been so good. It's my half red dupe that I've been loving. I need a mirror, a little mirror. And I'm just gonna line it. So we're gonna go up, do not outer line, just hug as close to the edge as you can. Renaissance is so pretty. It's just this great, deep, it's like a deep pomegranate color, I think. But it doesn't have that redness. It's just, I can't explain. I can't describe things. But I do like to go a little farther out on the Cupid. All right, now we get the bottom, and I just load up this bottom one and line it. Line it, line it, line it. It's, I bet they put soap in there and they're trying to make it a bubble bath. Kids. Okay, so I've lined my lips with Renaissance. I've got to go because we've expired. And I'm going to grab Maui. Maui is good on everything. It's good on Frenchie. It's good on Hollywood. It's good on baby watermelon. It's good on all of it. Maui is, what people have said that it's kind of like a shimmer version of Hollywood. And it does have some gold flecks in it. And it goes so good with Renaissance. Look at how pretty that is. And by adding that little shadow around the lips, it looks, oh, my lips are super chapped, fuller. I like it. Okay, and that's it. That's it. That's my face. I just wanted to share these little tips on if you have pores and you feel like your contour's sticking into it. This is a great way. Just try using the detail brush and don't put a lot on. Just tappy, tap, 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 and then just little flicks and go light. But do try to prep it with, if you have Aspen or Suede, try to prep it with that. And that's it. My kids need me. Have a great day.